Good evening, folks. Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Happy Friday, TGIF. Tonight, I want to talk about the county legislators and the replacement for Christopher Johnson. It looks like things are going to be simmering down over at the Board of Legislators, or will they? Today, announcements were made that Simmer Brandon, longtime politically involved, politically engaged individual, has been appointed to replace Christopher Johnson, who recently resigned over a housing scandal. Let's talk about that. Simmer Brandon goes way back to Nicholas Cisco days.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
Good evening, folks. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Tonight, I want to talk about the recent appointment of Simmer Brandon to replace Christopher Johnson on the County Board of Legislators for District 16. You know, we had a primary almost 2 months ago now where Christopher Johnson lost and Shanae Williams beat him. She is the Democratic candidate because there is someone running on the Republican ticket. Debbie Kozak. I say the name right. Did I say this time right? It's okay. Anyway, folks, good evening. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. I want to just come on really quick to talk about Simmer Brandon being appointed to replace Chris Johnson, who resigned from the County Board of Legislators over a housing scandal. This is like career ending, and I feel like they are getting rid of Chris now. You know, you messed up. You made an error in judgment, and as a result, now we're going to have to move on without you, Chris. Simmer Brandon has close relationships to Senator Andrea Stewart-Cousins, who Christopher Johnson came up under, right? He was her aide at one point and was with her all the time until he went and ran for council here in the city of Yonkers and then went on to become a county legislator for District 16. What I found interesting was that Simmer Brandon once ran for District 16 unsuccessfully. Now she's been appointed to District 16. I guess she got something that she's wanted. But let's talk about it real quick. I want to read this article from the Yonkers Ledger. Talks about this. I support you, Yonkers Ledger. That's why I use your articles, you know. I'd rather support you over the other guys, bigger guys. I mean, like Yahoo News and all that stuff, right? I like to support local talent. Former city council member Simmer Brandon to be appointed to county legislator. That's right. She was also a councilwoman. The Westchester County Board of Legislators is set to appoint Simmer Brandon to fill the vacancy left by Christopher Johnson. Christopher Johnson submitted a letter of resignation on July 24th after allegations of housing fraud materialized into fact. During a primary campaign against Yonkers City Council member Shanae Williams, investigative news reports about Johnson purchasing a house outside of his legislative district were published. Furthermore, the affordable condo he purchased a decade earlier and had been claiming as his primary residence was being rented to his brother-in-law for $1,500 a month. And if you remember, if you watched the podcast I did on it, he actually put on the mortgage application for the home that he purchased outside of his district that he was going to be receiving $2,500 a month. And I don't mean to kind of keep reiterating that, but it's just a fact, you know, and I got to treat everyone equally, right? Because they've said that I'm a, Chris Johnson guy. Not that I'm anti-Chris Johnson. I'm just pro and for Freddie Vasquez and the people, not elected officials as a whole. Calls for investigation came both at the city and county level. Yonkers Inspector General Liam McLaughlin investigated and issued his report just days after Williams bested Johnson in June's primary election. The report found that Johnson had, in fact, improperly rented his North Broadway condo, breaking the terms of his mortgage. Westchester County had also set in motion an investigation regarding Johnson's residency being unlawfully outside of his current district. So, according to the charter of the Board of Legislators, if you live outside your district, if you move outside your district, you automatically vacate the seat. So he basically gave up the seat. So I don't think he needed to really send in a letter of resignation. I think moving into the home, he resigned, right? So it technically, that seat was without a county legislator for a year or so. The Westchester County investigation was cut short by Johnson's resignation. You know, he wanted to kind of cut his losses short. His last day in office was August 1st, 2023. With the seat representing the 16th legislative district now open, the BOL had an option to fill it by appointment. Sima Brandon is a cornerstone of Yonkers politics. Elected to the city council as its first Black woman in 1991, she served 6 consecutive terms until being term limited in 2003. Dang. Her encouragement to center that first race came from her deep involvement in Westchester Black Women's Political Caucus, and they're very influential. You want to get their support. Every candidate goes over to them. And see, this is a problem I have with these groups, political caucuses and all that. For them, it becomes about power, right? It becomes a power, structure, a power base. And then you get individuals in there who begin to then understand that power and realize that they can wield that power in their, benefit, right? And then it's not longer representing the people. And I'm not accusing this particular organization. I just know that in past experiences, these caucuses, these political organizations are not necessarily there to serve the people, especially the people that they have in their title, right? Just saying. If they did, they would have not endorsed certain candidates that they have a history of endorsing. And again, look at people's records, what they do, right? Then she made history again as the first Black woman Yonkers Democratic Party chairperson. And, that's all political too. If you're able to get that position, you're an insider all the way. Just it is what it is. Okay. You're an insider all the way. If you become a party chairperson, I mean, Zahi Jeris, chairperson of the Republican Party at one point, right? He's a convict, right? Tommy Meyer, commissioner of DPW, he's now, right? Insiders, right? These insider positions. A position she held until current DPW Commissioner Tom Meyer unseated her in 2016, and that's he became really well connected with the Spano administration. She currently serves as the first ward leader. Professionally, she is the director of community affairs for New York State Senate Majority Leader Andrea Stewart Cousins. After retiring from Westchester County Department of Social Services, Sima Brandon is also a life member of the NAACP. Brandon also ran for the same county legislative district seat in 2007. Her opponent was none other than Christopher Johnson. She narrowly lost to him by only 30 votes. And here's another thing, like, how long has this person's been in politics, right? They've been in politics forever. This is why things don't change. We need fresh faces. We need fresh ideas. Why would they appoint someone what is the benefit to the people? Do they consider the people, the constituents of that district? I mean, what's their thought process? Or is this simply just, hey, this is our game, we're playing it, you guys can watch if you like, but you really don't participate? I mean, sure, it affects you, but you're not a player. You don't participate, right? And we're going to do what we're going to do. And, we need fresh faces, fresh ideas. That area is changing a lot. In fact, it's dwindling in its Black population. And not that I'm saying we shouldn't. It's not about race. It's about, where we at today as a society and what is the best representation for the people today. Sima Brandon goes so far back to Nicholas Wasisco. She was in an article that was written about his death. She was quoted as saying that he was her mentor. I mean, how far back does this woman go? And what concerns us is the same concerns we have when there are no term limits, right? What are the concerns that we have in terms of, term limits being extended? People develop, certain relationships, they develop certain power, and it becomes all about these groups of individuals that, again, are recycled, and I call them the recyclables. The recyclables. Because after all, truly, folks, look at what has progressed here in the city of Yonkers. What has truly progressed? I love when people say, well, look how much is changing by the waterfront. Yeah, have you seen Getty Square? Because technically that's by the waterfront. It's not that far. And you can even go to the waterfront. You'll see the panhandling there. You'll see the garbage all along the Riverwalk. I mean, yes and no, I guess, right? Yes and no. So it's time for new, fresh faces, new, fresh ideas. There are a lot of people now that are becoming more vocal that want to see change. And again, these are the individuals that are part of the same cabal that hold each other up. So you can't, have one without the other, essentially. So then they must both go. Just saying. I mean, Shanae Williams, no better, really. And this is the problem. Professionally, the appointment of Sima Brandon to the BOL is only temporary, which is fine, and I get that. The general election in November decides who holds this seat in the next term. The aforementioned Democrat Shanae Williams faces off against Republican newcomer Debbie Kozak in a newly drawn 16th district. And while typically the winner takes their oath of office at the start of the next term in January, this cycle would be different. Per the rules, November's winners could take office as soon as their victory is certified. If that winner is Williams, her Yonkers City Council seat becomes vacant for weeks, and Mayor Spano may opt for an appointment. In that case, it is undoubtedly would be Williams' current aide and uncontested candidate for that seat, Deanna Robinson, who I saw at the gas station today on Ashburton. She waved at me. She said hello. I'm always a friendly guy. Speaking the truth doesn't mean we have to be enemies. It doesn't mean that I'm a mean or bad person. It doesn't make me crazy. Right? If I speak the truth, it's the truth. It's like saying, look, you got a booger on your nose. Do you want me not to say it? I'm going to say it. Right? If your makeup looks bad, I'm going to say it. If you're, and you can tell me the same. Please let me know if my hair looks a mess. And I may or may not care, but I'm going to say it. And I think that's where some people, have an issue with me. But it doesn't mean we can't be cool. Right, Deanna? We still cool. That's like you. But I like her. She thinks she's cool. But there's still an election upcoming, and the chess pieces on the board of legislators seem to be ever moving. In this, yeah. I got a scandal for you guys if you're truly interested with the board of legislators. True, if you're truly interested. In this case, up to 3 different people may occupy this legislative seat in the year of 2023. But this turn stands in the shadow of changes to the leadership offices, to the chairperson, majority leader, and minority leader that also occurred in recent months. As you know, Christine Borgia, the former chair, was replaced by Vidak Gashi. 2 scandals this year. Yeah, 2 scandals this year. You can't trust the county legislator. There's a lot going on up there. I think the players are strategically looking to replace certain people. Chris Johnson was definitely one of them. Catherine Borgia, I'm sorry, I said Christine. Catherine Borgia was definitely one of them, right? And they're almost done. I mean, look, you look at who we have. We're going to have Shanae Williams. Debbie Kozak. I'm not trying to, but you got to understand the way this operates. It's almost like, but if Debbie Kozak wins, it could be Debbie Kozak. But if not, it'll be Shanae Williams. It'll be James Nolan. It'll be David Tubiolo. Who else you have up there? I don't even know the other people. I just know those guys, right? And they are a part of that same, group of individuals that circle at the Yonkers Democratic Committee, right? So, it seems like there's a takeover of county going on, right? So I don't know, it's just all political, it's just all, if you play the game, then you get the appointment, it's just a friend thing. It's recyclable. The new Republican GOP leader's wife is calling people, telling them to vote for Spano and not Moranti. The parties are corrupt. We absolutely need new faces because the older generation destroy Yonkers, and this is just, the new Republican GOP. And what's his name? I forgot what's his name. Moffitt? Is that Moffitt? Let me know if I'm right. You're saying that the current leader of the Republican Party here in the city of Yonkers, his wife, maybe she's a Democrat. That happens. I'm just saying, it happens, right? I met someone the other day like that. Said my wife is a Republican and I'm a Democrat, and we just debate on things. And I said, I wonder how that works out, because they say, you shouldn't talk about politics and religion, right? Because that can lead to arguments. So, imagine what their household must be like, right? Yes, he's a nice guy. His wife is best friends with Nick His wife is best friends with Nick Spano. I don't know if I would like my wife being best friends with another man. I'm just saying. I'm not the jealous type, but I mean, that wouldn't sit well with me. Especially Nick Spano. I mean, the guy's got a fucking pool house the size of most people's house, right? So I don't want my wife being best friends with him. I'm just saying. The guy's too cool for school. Is she a Democrat or is she a Republican? If she's a Democrat, then I can see why she'd be doing that, right? So I'm just saying, I don't know, because I don't want to, but if she's a Republican, why is she doing that? She's a Republican. Okay, she's a Republican. Okay, so shame on you. Shame on you, wife of Moffitt, the Republican chairperson here in the city of Yonkers. But I told you this, the Republican Party's in shambles. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they want to be. Right? They don't know if they want to be Democrats, Republicans. They don't know what they want to be. They're in shambles. They're a mess. If there are any true Republican voters out there, you should be upset of the way party leadership in the Yonkers Republican Party has been for a long time. I mean, really. I mean, look at the history. Zahi Jarris, the convict. I mean, the Republican mayor, Phil Lamacone, had to ask Zahi Jarris, the Republican chair at the time, to step down because of, his investigation. He was charged with corrupting the majority leader at the time of the Yonkers City Council. So it scares me. It frightens me that Zahi Jarris manages our current majority leader. It scares me because as a voter, as a Democrat, I don't want to see a man like Zahi Jarris in my party. It just destroys the credibility of my party. I mean, I was hanging out with Moranti over at the National Night Out and Ron Matten because my party's just, I'm ashamed as a Democrat. And as a Democrat, I would not be ashamed to vote for a Republican at this point in time. I mean, why wouldn't I? Look at what the Democrats have done. So I'm ashamed to be a Democrat. They allow corruption. They have destroyed our country nationally. Look what they're doing at the borders. Look what they've done in terms of bail reform, laws. Are they trying to purposely destroy this country and our city? There's only one party, the Spano Party. The other day there was an event up at the Dunwoody Golf Course. Let me show you this picture here. And I would like to have gone. And I thought about going actually, because I got two flyers. This was the second one that I was sent. And when I got this one, I decided, I don't know if I can go. I saw Zahi Jarris's name on there. First of all, the man sued me for $1 million, right? But the man is a convicted felon. He bribed officials. He's extorted, blackmailed. This is on the FBI's page. Why would he be associating with Mayor Mike Spano, Senator Shelley Mayer, Assemblyman Nader Sage, Senator Andrea Stewart Cousins? It just doesn't, it should scare you and concern you as a voter, as a Democrat, that they would associate with a man like Zahid Jarris, who is known to corrupt elected officials. Can you trust that these officials have not been corrupted by this man and that's why he's there? I mean, Senator Andrea Stewart Cousins is the majority leader, but has she been leading the majority of the time? Shelley Mayer, Education Committee, represents Yonkers. Why doesn't she get any flack? Maybe she should get more flack for the way that our schools are. Even Senator Stewart Cousins. Are you guys from Yonkers? Do you represent Yonkers? Do you see what the conditions of our schools are like? You know, it's sad that I look at the charter school on Warburg and it's such a nice building. It seems like they have space there compared to that new school that they're building on McLean. Could you have made it any more condensed? Straight New York City style school. No space. No room to run. No room to stretch out for these kids. What are our senators doing for us? Our majority leader is Andrea Stewart Cousins. You're the majority leader. Get us some more money. Get us more money for our schools. There's a housing crisis. We don't have a housing ordinance that will truly help this. People are getting pushed out, priced out. Shelley Mayer, I was told that there wasn't enough money to place 400 kids in UPK. I had empty seats. You and I spoke. You said there's definitely a need. And so what are you guys doing as the education chair? And maybe it's time that we give them a little more attention. And ladies, why are you associating with a convicted felon? That concerns me. We, the people, don't feel like you have been representing us truly. And so Democrats, you should not be ashamed if you feel like voting Republican. Don't be ashamed. Republican doesn't equal Donald Trump. Don't confuse the two. Democrats will have you believe that. Right? So maybe, because I would like to have gone to this barbecue, but I can't be around a convicted man, especially one that's suing me, because I'm telling folks that he is a convicted felon and he is corrupting our political process here. He is corrupting our politics. Many people wonder, what is it about him that they keep him close, that they allow him? Because he helps them win. And these elected officials don't care what he's done, what he's doing, as long as he can help them win. And so when they gather at these events together with this man, it concerns me, and it should concern you, Democrats. It's time that we start over. It's time that we start anew. We need fresh faces. We need fresh people. How long have we been hearing these names now? It's 2023. I mean, they go back to the 80s, 70s, 90s. Times have changed. Times have changed. And we need to see our politics change also and evolve along with the society that it is supposed to represent. So we need new faces. Andrea is arguably the second most powerful Democrat in New York State. Yeah, she's not acting like it. She represents Yonkers, and Yonkers has a high need, especially black children. Andrea Stewart Cousins that would love to be a senator one day, or maybe not. Maybe a business owner, maybe a doctor, maybe a lawyer, maybe a Westchester County District Attorney, one that will actually perform investigations into possible corruption or wrongdoing. But we don't hear from you. We see you at these events with Zahi Jarris as the people not worthy of your time. Do we not have enough money? Can we not guarantee you the win? Can we not grant you such favors? It's time that we change. We need new faces, and Democrats, do not be ashamed to vote Republican. What we should be ashamed of is the way our party has been managed by those who are in leadership. It's a shame that our party, our Yonkers Democratic Party, and the Westchester County Democrats would allow this, because they know allow a convicted felon to corrupt our politics here in Yonkers. Why things do not change? You can't only blame Spano. If you continue to be tunnel vision on Spano, you will not create change, because Spano can only be Spano with those that are around him that support this. We have to call it out, call them all out. And so it's time for change. This must stop. We need new faces, fresh faces. We don't need the Tasha Diaz's, people that are shouting and cursing and yelling at constituents, making a mockery of our politics here, political process here, making a mockery of the Yonkers City Council in the Yonkers City Council chambers. Yet she doesn't want to go up against the Spano, leaves us in a hellhole. Money, so the Spanos can steal it. Going to bankrupt at this rate is inevitable. It's all about money, right? It's all about money, and if you can get me the votes. Remember, Andrea Stewart-Cousins beat Nick Spano to become the senator. The first time around, she lost to Nick Spano by 18 votes. It was a Mike Breen, Ron Schutte type of election. And guess who was involved in that election back in 2004? Zahi Jarris. So you have to understand why this continues. Zahi Jarris back then was cheating elections, committing election frauds. And you can tell your attorney that, Zahi, because you pled guilty to it, did you not? Did you not? You are a criminal. That is all you are. You are a criminal. You have learned to lie, cheat, and steal. And you do it well. Barry Magui, I was surprised to see Barry Magui's name there. This is the guy that had a huge spotlight in front of the Castle Royale once in protest of Mike Spano. Many people say he was a fighter until he got a deal. People say, hey, can you blame the guy? He walked away taking care of himself. But what these folks don't understand is that when these people walk away taking care of themselves, you know who does not get taken care of? The people of the city of Yonkers. When the majority of tax money or revenue that comes into this city is going off in these pension payments, guess who suffers? They need the higher income earners to come in here. Otherwise, the city is going to be in such bad financial condition. And so the only thing that they're hoping that can save it is the movie business. That's what's going on. This is deeper than what most people think. Yonkers is almost in $3 billion debt, and it's a small city, so it really can't handle a $3 billion deficit, especially when there's so much that's required of it. It's really more, because when you factor in the things that need to be done that Yonkers doesn't have the money for, we're talking $10 billion. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Maybe it's $6 billion, right? When you factor in all the repairs to the system, the infrastructure. Imagine what really has to be done to truly prepare and make this infrastructure able to sustain the development that's going on. But they're not going to do that because they don't have the money. So instead, they're going to put paint over mold on an old plaster wall or maybe sheetrock. Right? Like somebody who works for the city said, they're basically putting a Lamborghini shell over a Pinto. The infrastructure is so in despair and so in need of repair. They don't understand how is it that these developments can be developed and how it will sustain it. So will we see huge problems with our infrastructure, our water lines, our sewer lines in the future? And by that time, will it be too late? So we have to get new people in here, new fresh faces. And what they're trying to do is quickly change us out because a lot of us now are so bogged down with, can we even afford to stay in Yonkers? Or those who have homes are saying, you know what, I'm going to sell and get out of here. And so you're going to have a whole new group of people that will not understand this. So it's a race. It's a race. That's why Zahi Jeris is starting to show his face more and his name. I realize it's we the people that are the problem. The majority that do vote need their city jobs. Liam lied to Jose, and that's why he didn't run against Tasha. Oh, you want to bring that up? According to Talking the Town, and look, you know, somebody said to me, Freddie, you know, you got to make sure you verify things. And, you know, look, I can try to verify as much as possible. I never set out to be a journalist, but I want to put the information out. And it's a team effort. I look at us as a group of journalists. We work together. I get information from people send me things, right? I put things out there, people add to it. But the things that I put out there sometimes cannot be verified, but you have to understand that it's true. Sources will not come out because they don't want to lose their job. They don't want to have their business attacked. They don't want any problems with certain people. So therefore, I can't verify it through the individuals. Even with the proof that some people have on certain things, they are afraid to give it to me because it may lead back to them. So understand that you have to trust me in what I say. And what tells you that what I say is truth is the amount of time that they take, the amount of effort that they take in order to attack me, my family, to discredit me amongst the people here in the city of Yonkers, whether it's, you know, whispers or on the internet. Well, they'll put up a website, which they created, freddyvasquez.net, but I think they might have taken it down. But they created a website just for me to try and discredit what I am saying and who I am. And so I need the people of Yonkers to share. Carolyn, people have to share my page. My page has to grow. If my page does not grow, then we will not have the momentum. Somebody has to speak truth. Somebody has to be unafraid, but it has to get out to more people. And it's growing, but continue to share. Share the page, share the podcast, let people know, watch Basement Politics. And it's, you know, people stop me all the time. I can see why they're nervous, right? And they're trying to scare me. I don't know what they're saying, that I caused Chris Johnson and Shatika Parker to lose their elections. I don't see how I have that much influence, right? So we have to make sure that we are informing each other. We are working together. Share the information with me. Don't be afraid. You can do it anonymously. I've never given up a source. Never. And let's just talk about the Vinny Spano thing. People could say, Freddie, that was messed up that you put out Vinny Spano's text. Let's just put it out there. You know why I feel bad? Because I'm not a person that does that. That's not who I am. I wish it didn't have to happen. However, at the time, for me, it was the right thing. It was the right thing. Can you compare what was done to me releasing some of those text messages? I mean, what really, you know, they sent CPS to me, to me twice. They've said I was into child porn. They're whispering this among prominent individuals at events. They're attacking me through the building department. Sam Borelli's harassing the landlord at the place I had the daycare at, purposely, just so they would get rid of me, because nobody wants that problem with the building department, right? They'd rather look for a new tenant. They've attacked my wife. They tried to fire her. Oh, what a fucking, these guys are idiots. Completely contradict themselves, blatantly lying. Maybe they forgot what they said before or what they wrote down themselves. And so I have to protect my family and kids, and that's why I did that. I didn't ask for this. And so when it comes to sources, I've never outed any sources. The only thing people say, oh, the Vinny Spano text. Well, listen, we were at war. And there's no love, and all is fair in love and war, I should say. But I've never, ever outed any source. None that have been honest and genuine. So give me the information, Politic with Fred, because we have to spread the message as far as possible to every district. If you want me to continue to tell the truth, speak the truth, then you have to share the podcast and you have to make sure everybody's listening. You want to create change? Then it's we the people. We have an election coming up. We are coming into what? We're in August now. August, September, October, then is November. And we have to remain consistent from now till then. And we have to work together. That's the only way it's going to happen. That's why they try to divide us. That's why they try to keep you away from me. We can't hide the truth. We can't operate in secrecy. Secrets will only hurt us. So I'm going to speak the truth. Why do you think they're suing me for $1 million? Who else are they suing for $1 million? Besides another truth speaker once by the name of Hezi Aris of the Yonkers Tribune. And they beat that man poor man down, his health. And that's what they're going to try to do to me. But I was born in jail. I was built for this. But I need the people. So we must do this together. Again, this is August. We have August, September, October. Then it's November. There are important elections. We have to come out and work together. People have to reach out and say, Freddie, we want to create change. Let's unite. Let's communicate. Let's get the word out. We must get people out to vote. You want to beat a certain machine, you have to operate like that machine. Otherwise, you ain't doing nothing, man. Otherwise, I don't even want to hear it, man. We have to be just as strong. We have to be just as united. You know how close and tight they are? So if you're ready for some kind of change, then let me see that you're ready, And let's come out and vote. Let's make sure we spread the word. Let's make sure we encourage people to vote. And Democrats, you should be ashamed of your party. Your party associates with convicted felons. Your party does nothing but mingle amongst themselves. The rich elite, the snobby elite, the social elite with their nose in the air. How many constituents were invited to this damn barbecue? Can you afford it? All these political events these Democrats hold, the average person can't afford it. They're basically saying, this is our game. You're not welcomed in it. We don't even need your damn vote anymore because we got our solid 8,000. We know we're going to get this. We know how to cheat elections. We got the election board covered. We got the council covered. We're getting the board of legislator covered. Spread the word. Share the podcast. We have to get the information to as many people as possible. So we must do this together. We must do it together. Johnson did it himself. Shatika would have won if they didn't split the vote on purpose. She was a great candidate. But that's when the people have to come out and say, you know what? They're trying to split the vote. So we're going to make sure that we know exactly who we're going to support. Let it be basement politics that you come to for the political information and advice. I'm here for you. I'm here for the people. We can't vote for a person because we like them, because they're the same skin color, because they're a Democrat and I'm a Democrat. No, we can't do that anymore these days. Times have changed. Times have changed. It doesn't matter if you're a Democrat. You got to vote for what's right. And this election, here's an opportunity, right? Some may say there's an opportunity to do something that's right. But will you come out and actually do it? That's big. The Republican Party needs to stop their BS and set up and help Moranti. The Republican leadership is corrupted. You guys have not helped Moranti. You guys have not helped Jose Diaz. You guys didn't help Ron Mattin. You guys did not help Ron Schutte. What the hell are you doing, Yonkers GOP leadership? Are you not ashamed of yourselves, grown men? You're a grown man and you can't even think for yourself or make your own decision. You're a grown woman who can't think for herself and make your own decision because you're dependent on another individual for your income. That is called a parent and child relationship. I'm just saying. Sadly, another decade, these corrupt old-timers will be gone or on their way out. This new generation is a whole new problem. Which whole new generation are you referring to? It's time for change, folks. And that's why I could not go to the Yonkers Democratic Committee barbecue, because a corrupt, convicted felon, I can't be around them. I'm not sure how Senator Stuart Cousins can be around Zahid Jarris. In fact, Stuart Cousins, he's the reason why you lost the first time. His sister was Susan Salem, but you probably know that already. She's the one that found the 18 votes to beat you with Nick Spano. But here you are. I can't do that. That's not my style. Me and Zahid would never be cool. There's nothing me and him have to be cool about. I really don't care. Don't matter to me. We could do this forever. I mean, the way you do things is not, the only way I do things. So how are we going to do this? I'm just saying, how are we going to do this? Because it's not going to be over for me until some way, somehow. So it's going to be a constant target. You better come and get me and destroy me, take my breath, homie. That's all I'm saying. You can get whoever. And so what are you going to do? I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Spread the podcast. This is where truth lives and corruption dies. Why is Shelley Mayer, our senator, our lovely senator, Andrea Stewart-Cousins, the majority leader, up at the Senate in Albany, mingling with a corrupt individual, a two-time felon? That sends a bad message. You guys in your bail reform, do you love criminals? Do you enjoy hanging out with criminals? Is that what it is, guys? Let us know. Do we have to be a criminal in order to get respect around here? Is that what it is? Do I have to be a felon? Because I thought that, I'd get further ahead by not going to jail. Where I come from, I see people go to jail, they mess up their lives. But in politics, you go to jail, you get ahead. You could drink and drive, hit somebody, you get ahead. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. Am I not a criminal enough for you guys? Do I got to prove myself like a gang? Do I got to commit a 187 on an undercover cop? That's a Snoop Dogg song, by the way, for Brian Harrod tries to send the police after me. My point is what do I got to do? Is this a blood thing, initiation? Because it's the same group of individuals at every event. Do you folks not ever do anything else with other people, the constituents that you're supposed to represent? Do you not care about them? Because when they do events with the people, they spend like 2 minutes there, then they leave. They take a couple pictures, then they leave. Then they do these little events, they hanging out all night, talking to each other. That would feel weird. I would feel totally weird talking in front of the same damn people all the time, saying a lot of bullshit. Doesn't that feel weird to you guys? Like getting up there and be like, hey, so, we've worked hard to do nothing, absolutely nothing, but we've campaigned and we've brought in a lot of money from our investors and developer friends. And, we're going to continue to progress and be the best. And, that's who we are. Take a picture like this. Use this picture as the best one. I like this picture of me. Make sure you use this one. I don't know. I don't do good with fake. I'm too real for that. I don't do good with fake. I keep it too honest. And that's a lot of fakeness. Politics is a lot of fakeness, So if you want to do well in politics, you got to be very fake. And if you're great at being fake, then you're going to be great at being in politics, I'm telling you, it's going to be the best thing for you. They don't care. Their motto is money talks, bullshit walks. It's not their money. It's not their money. As a thing. It ain't their money. It ain't their money. They're stealing free. It's free money they're stealing. They've learned how to steal the money. They've seen this taxpayer money and revenue that comes in from an infrastructure that's already been put in place, which is the city of Yonkers, right? And they saw this money that comes in, and they saw that, hey, if you control politics, you will control this money. But guess what? The Yonkers Public Schools gets a lot of money too, and so we got to control that. So we're going to do this thing where we're going to take control of it too. Because we just want to control the money, the tax money, the revenue. But it's not money that we do. We don't do anything. We didn't create a damn thing. We don't have a product or a service that we created, that we sell. No, we don't do nothing. We don't do nothing but just take control of the infrastructure known as the city of Yonkers that's been established since 47, 42. And at this point in time, it generates $1.4 billion, whether it be in revenue it generates or state aid. So I want to control that. It's not their money. They're no Elon Musk. They're no Jeff Bezos here. They walk around like they're fucking Jeff Bezos. Shit, they're not even Dr. Dre. You don't even make a beat, let alone write your own lyrics. You don't do nothing. There's no product that they create. There's no service that they provide. Nothing. They just lie to you and hope that you believe their bullshit and they can get enough of you to vote for them so they can get into this position where they can steal taxpayer money. Bottom line. So don't think so highly of yourselves because you're a bunch of crooks. Point blank motherfucking period. I'm Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Have a beautiful night, folks. God bless you. We lit it tonight. We lit it tonight. Send me all the information. I don't give a fuck. I'll put the pictures out. Don't be scared. Let them sue me. Let them sue me. Let them sue me. They can kiss my ass. I don't care. I'm going to report the truth. Spread the podcast. I am Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered, the place where truth lives and corruption dies. We have an opportunity to do something that has not been done in a very long time this November. What the hell are you going to do? Are you going to be a part of history? Or are you going to allow this guy Zahi Jarris and this crew of old fogies who are making themselves millionaires while a lot of you are becoming poor and poor and poor and poor and losing your homes, losing your apartments, losing your jobs, scraping by, and they're millionaires off our money. They ain't sell us a damn thing. They ain't provide nothing. Again, these people have done shit to steal from us. It's time for change. Let's go.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez. You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
I want to end this quick because I'm greedy and I want somebody to want a chicken.
In another one, Mr. Rubo lied to me. And I don't vote for a person that lied to me. Thank you very much.
I was raised in housing. I was raised in housing.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
No!
Freddie wins. Fatality.
Any which way. What side? I can bang it out like the best of them.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
Boys is back.
Freddie
Boys
wins.
are back in town. Ready to go?
Fatality.
I'm ready to go.
No!